Okay, this is an administrative hearing being held on October 20th, 2025 in the Vermilion County Courthouse. This hearing is being recorded and will be made public via the county's YouTube channel. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Indiana as found in IC Code 6-1.1-1-1. This hearing is being held in the manner of petition 83-07-25-0-5-00013. The parcel number is 83-112-400-002.000-007. The property address is 3209 West 1050 South, Clinton, Indiana 47842. The assessment year under appeal is 2025. Does everyone present agree this is the year under appeal as stated?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Pat Ritchie and I will be conducting this hearing. Every effort will be made to keep each hearing limited to 20 minutes. Each side will be given an opportunity to present any comments, evidence in support. Our Ptaboa will be allowed to ask questions to each side. A decision may be made today at the hearing or taken under advisement and moved to a work session at a later date. Anyone scheduled for a hearing and fails to appear will be heard in their absence and listed as a no-show. The Ptaboa will hear the no-show after the last property owner present hearing has been completed. The following persons are here representing the Ptaboa: Pat Ritchie, I'm president, Sandra Whitaker, and Brad Ringwald. Will the person representing the petitioner please identify yourself for the record?
William Frank.
Will the person representing the county please identify yourself for the record? Will the persons who are or may be witnesses in the hearing please raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, so the hearing may now begin. And William, if you would go ahead and tell us.
Sure. So we received the 2025 assessment and noticed that the property value went up approximately 43% by my math. Looked at some surrounding properties. Of course, I couldn't see 2025 property cards for surrounding properties in my own. So I've got 2024 data just to show where we're at. These are the homes around me, the homes that I drive by every day, my comparison properties. My argument is such, in this packet, underneath the first page, we went through this after I purchased this property in 2014. It was a foreclosure.
Okay.
Had a appraisal done to, there was a wide disparity in the value back then. I think that was actually you that we were arguing back then. Had the property appraised back then. That's just for condition, I guess, for anything. I mean, the whole packet's not there. I've got the whole packet here if you want to read through it all, but there were some pictures there, just what they thought it was worth 11 years ago. Went through this process and roughly dropped it. Looks like they dropped the property values to 76.5 back then, and reducing the condition of the property to poor. I changed the condition of all structures to poor. In doing so, I'm only able to come down to 76.5. If we didn't agree to that, we'd need to come meet with the investment like we are today. But we ended up accepting that, and we destroyed some of the properties or some of the buildings that were on the structures that were in poor condition after that, and did the affidavit and whatnot, the destruction. But here we are today. So I'm told when we did the informal meeting that the condition of the properties had been changed. And the house has had some improvements. I mean, it was mold, as you can see in her appraisal, if you will, back then. The vehicle had cars, so sorry about car, I almost said car right there. Had water damage, had mold, had termites. The house was stripped completely and sat that way for a number of years, and we've slowly been going back through it, trying to get it reassembled. It is in no way a complete livable home, but if you want to come look at it, you can make that decision for yourself. The condition of the pole barn, you can see the pictures in there. It had a door ripped off of it from wind. I rebuilt that door. Other than that, there hasn't been a single change to that pole barn since I purchased it. I would argue that that is certainly not enough to justify what I assume F means fair condition, so. But home value, my argument in the package that I put in front of you, I'm arguing this replacement cost. This is all 2024 data because, again, I can't see 2025. The property that we're talking about here, the 3209, replacement cost was $125,216. Divided by the square footage, I came up with $75.80 per square foot, which is by far the highest of any of the surrounding properties. Looking to see that was brick, looked at some of these other square footage, and finally figured out that, the second floor, the basements, the attics, anything else that could be counted, was dropping that value and dropping that cost per square foot. So I normalized that and looking at only the primary square footage of the property, right? That was, that had 100% value basically. So I normalized all the square footage, and the far right column is what the normalized replacement cost per square footage is. I'm the second highest with that property, higher even than the house I live in that was built in 2012, higher than the Ingram Place, which is the most opulent home in the area. I mean, full $10, $9.72, more than that home right down the street, which was built 10 years before mine, brick. My argument is there's no real parity in the cost per square foot for replacement cost, which is all of those. It doesn't really matter what condition it's going to be in. With this variation in cost per square foot, seems like I can be taxed whatever somebody decides I want to be taxed based on what that is. And there's no, how in the world do we go from, you've got 3-4 outliers here, normalized, over $70 a square foot. Again, these homes in the same area, we got a low of 68 or 62.86. Again, the most opulent home, 3/4 of a mile or less from my door, all the way to, a home that's listed in, another home that's listed in poor condition right up the road that was built in 1912. We've got another 1912 construction at $73.25 per square foot. We've got my place incomplete. That's my entire argument. You're going to look at the place, I assume you're going to come visit, make whatever decision you're going to make. How in the world can we justify or argue this variation in cost per square foot when it's normalized?
If you're going by price per square foot, from what I gather on, the 25, it's $66 square foot. Because you only take the price of the home, not the acreage, not the pole barns, nothing else, and divide that by the square footage.
Absolutely.
And that's $66. So when you get to replacement value, you couldn't replace it for double that.
Agreed, but that's how we're all being compared.
I know it, I'm just saying, so that's what I'm seeing as, and then I've got to add pole barns in, I've got to add, it said in one thing I read it was 5 acres, and then on the other thing I read it was 6.49, which is it?
It's 5 acres, exactly.
According to yours,
The legal description is 5.
I know it says right there, 6.49.
My square footage argument, the only thing I'm looking at is the home.
I understand. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just.
2024 data was 125,216. That's the data that I have. 2024 data.
You've got a 25 in front of you. We
That's
just
the
get.
first time.
I know what I'm just saying. You
My
so.
comparison data though,
Well, if you came in to file an appeal and talk to Paige, she had to give you the 2025. You've got it somewhere.
Here's my data. I certainly couldn't pull 2025 for these other properties for comparison purposes.
You should have been able to. Should all be
Here's
on
what
the
we've got.
internet.
So
Yeah.
here's what we've got. That's what we want to say.
Okay.
Here's what we've got. It's in front of you, and I printed every one of them off yesterday for you. off the
Right, but we
website.
can't go by 2024 because new cost tables went in. I mean, I understand the square footage should be the same, and we'll look at that. Because I know how the state is, figure square footage and basements and all that stuff, and, yeah.
Now, what I've done is normalize that. So every one of these dividers, right, if we pull this Ingram place, for example, that'll be the third one back here, second one back here. It's listed as having 3,500 and some square feet. If you normalize that, meaning if you take out the reducers, you've got a 900 square foot attic, you've got a 3,500 foot slab, right? Slab doesn't modify, but if you take out that 900 square foot attic, that gives you 35, well, take off the attic, so you only got 3,560, right? So 3,560 is the base square footage of the house. Divide that by your replacement cost, that normalizes that number. That takes that reduced value of the attic out of there and reduces the base square footage compared to my own. In fact, that's the best comparison car, the vehicle there is, vehicle house there is, because it's on slab, just like mine is on slab. So if you take that attic out, all that value into that square footage out there, and divide their 3,560 valued at 223.80 divided by 3,560, that gives you your $62.86 that's normalized, just seems fine. Understand what I'm putting down here? Taking out the modifiers. So if there's a reduced value on a basement, on a attic, on a second story, I've reduced it to the, based on the drawings and what's here, here's the base square footage of the house, it's taxed at 100%, just like mine, and divided the numbers. That's how I've got this normalized cost per square foot. In the house that we're arguing, you know, an incomplete house, $72.58 square foot. Now, whatever modifier, however we're gonna value that, you know, whatever condition it's gonna be, I mean, ultimately it's your decision or whatever you find it to be state of completion. But this house per square foot is considerably higher than comparables. We've got, you know,
What is the state of completion?
It's in,
that's-
I'm just asking, is it, you think it's halfway done or quarter
What's the
done?
question?
it's, in fair, from poor to fair. I mean, that's what she's got.
Right.
I think he's.
I would
It's,
just-
it's a vacant home.
Oh, percent of.
Percent
It's a
of
vacant
completion.
home,
So they can own,
and you are in the process of renovating it
it's a stretch, but.
to
trying to
sell,
keep it from getting any further.
to sell
I
or
doubt it's-
rent or,
I don't think it's going anywhere. If anything, my parents may move in when they're unable to be far away as what they are, so. It has no flooring, it has no kitchen, it has no cabinets, it has no trim, it has no doors. So, there's drywall, there's electric, plumbing's pretty much done, one,
I think, did, well,
Mhm.
these are the pictures that you gave me.
Yeah,
preliminary.
yeah.
You guys look at
but more than welcome to come take a look. Be in whole bar condition, whole bar, the new west door on it, other than that, everything. Whatever decision you're gonna make, but my real argument is that, like your chart, you're saying about units per square foot,
Okay.
that number is being modified by your condition multiplier, whatever that multiplier is, but that cost per square foot. About the same as the rest of it.
okay. So you said the home is vacant, there's no kitchen, you said no floor.
There's a sink, so I can wash my hands, there's a sink in the bathroom.
Yeah.
there's a
So
working toilet.
working water,
Yep.
so, but no flooring or,
The well's dry after this drought, but.
you said there was no flooring or?
It's main concrete, so you do that for all.
So do you have There is water and there is septic.
Yep,
Is there a fireplace in it?
there is a fireplace.
Okay.
Are there any other questions from the board? Paige, do you have anything?
Did I give you a copy of this agreement?
No.
I'd like to share this with you. I've just included in the packet a comparable sales analysis from our software that is comparing 6 valid sales to this property. And I'm coming up with about $84 square foot, $5 square foot.
Are these homes live-in? I mean,
Yes.
they
yes,
can
they
be
are.
lived in?
Yeah.
They aren't in a state of?
I'm assuming so, yes. And I come up with the minimum price per square foot to these 6 homes is $107 a square foot. So he is at a reduced rate for. That's all I have.
And this on Malone's was a BPO, was not an appraisal.
Right.
Just so you understand that, it's a broker's opinion, you know.
Yeah, but that was from 2014.
I
That was
know,
over
but
10
I'm
years
just
ago.
saying, but that, it
That was
still
what?
wasn't an
Shows the
appraisal.
condition of the place from like.
Right, I
all
understand
wanted
that.
to establish.
Okay, are there any other comments, or questions, statements? Then these proceedings are concluded. This case is adjourned until further notice. The evidence presented or requested will be considered and the board will render a decision. No additional evidence will be accepted for consideration unless that evidence has been requested during the hearing today. You will be notified of our determination in the appeal by mail or on a Form 115. Once you receive that, you have the right to appeal this decision to the IBTR. The procedure for appeal will be set forth on the form containing the determination issued in this appeal. And basically, what that's saying, if you disagree, you can file with the IBTR, it's the Indiana Board of Tax Review. It happens here. No more, they're virtual now. They're by phone.
Are
It
these for
is.
us to keep?
Please.
Okay. Just wanted
So-
to make sure.
Thank you so much for coming.
Got interest in looking at the place and available all day today, so.
Okay.
Thank you for the offer.
But you brought us photographs and everything. We really appreciate that, so, thank you.
Thank you.
Go.